guys, my name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. One thing I'm super grateful for is when you guys give me really good recommendations, and I feel like because you guys know me very well, you'll know what kind of stuff I like, and that happened very recently when I watched Evil Genius, which is a true crime doco series. So I thought, why not return the favor and list 10 that I highly recommend to you guys and give you a little bit of a rundown on each of them. I'm sure I've spoken about all of these at one stage, especially my favorites videos, so this will serve as a reminder to you OG astronauts what series you should be checking out. And if you're new here, hello, subscribe. For you, this will be a list of stuff that I recommend. I recommend pretty good stuff. I feel like it's kind of my thing. So let's get into it. This is 10 Netflix true crime docos that you should watch. And in no particular order, let's start with Evil Genius, just because we've already spoken about it. A Duplass brother production, this 4-episode mini doco series uncovers the lies and manipulation behind a bizarre bank heist. The case follows a journalist on a decade hunt for the truth behind a twisted scene where a man was forced to rob a bank with a bomb attached to him. But the real story surrounds a mentally ill woman who claims that she has nothing to do with the case. This one contains real cliffhangers at the end of each episode, which, let's be real, most Netflix doco dramas do. But because it's only 4 episodes long, it's very short and concise and exposes a lot of evidence and detail. Most people I know have watched the whole series in just one sitting. Next, The Keepers. This one is very disturbing and leaves you feeling troubled with a lot of questions, but it's still a great watch. The Keepers is a 7-part mini doco series about the unsolved murder of a nun that happened 50 years ago. But the kicker is the story isn't as simple as it seems, and although the series starts off with recapping crucial details of the mystery, it leads itself down a different path in corruption and abuse. Not a Netflix original, but perhaps my favorite serial killer documentary of all time can be found on Netflix in most countries. If you have not seen Nick Broomfield's Aileen, The Life and Death of a Serial Killer, are you even a true crime fan? The film has startling and raw interviews of Aileen that shows a disturbing side never seen before. You thought it was disturbing before? You need to check this out. And if you don't know, Aileen Wuornos was a prostitute who killed 6 men. And Broomfield had the unique perspective of being one of the only people that had a relationship with her. Wuornos trusted Broomfield and opened up to only him. The footage and the story is told through his relationship with her, and it's just amazing. Next, I had my doubts about the creative documentary casting JONBENET. But something I can't deny is how much this film stuck with me. And as I said, this feature documentary is filmed in a very creative way. And although it's not a pure true crime, it surrounds one of the biggest murder mysteries of all time. JonBenét Ramsey, a 6-year-old American beauty queen who was murdered in her own home. But by who? The documentary takes a deeper look into the public's perception of the case. When the actors are brought in to be casted into a fictional film based on the murder, they are asked to explain their theories on what exactly happened. This film is not for everyone, but it does make for an interesting watch. Another huge case turned doco is Netflix original Amanda Knox. Following the true story that made international headlines, Amanda Knox is a naive American exchange student living in Italy when she is convicted with the death of her roommate. The whole case is just bizarre, and the feature-length documentary highlights both sides with exclusive interviews that break down that footage that everyone says makes her look guilty. I think this one is fascinating because Amanda Knox as a person is so unpredictable. She is an outcast put in the spotlight. Mix that with a mysterious murder scene and a lengthy trial, this one is just bizarre and fascinating. Next, I want to talk about The Fear of 13. This one took me 2 watches to really grasp the message and the tone of the full-length feature documentary. It's not a wild ride by any means, but a sit-down interview with a man who spent over 2 decades on death row. He tells the unbelievable stories behind bars, his crimes, and his struggles. This film perhaps gives the greatest payoff of all of them for such a simple structured documentary. The film is a great example of compelling storytelling with little theatrics. I actually got quite emotional at the end of this one. Next, well, you have to be living under a rock to not have heard of this. This doco series made international headlines and arguably started the Netflix true crime doco trend. Have you guessed it right? Making a Murderer. Again, I'm sure you're all very familiar with this one. If not, I can confirm it is worth the hype. This series will have you flip-flopping all over the place. I found this to be both a good and bad thing, as the filmmakers reveal certain details to manipulate the audience's judgment in each episode, but add it all up and you're still unsure. The story follows Stephen Avery, an exonerated man who spent almost 20 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. But the story twists when Avery is put back behind bars for the murder of a woman who was last seen on his property. The series is full of compelling evidence and a bizarre look at the justice system. But something to keep in mind is that not everything that happened is actually in this documentary, so you may want to look this up afterwards. Next, The Witness. This is a 2015 doco film about a man who was reflecting on his sister Kitty's death and the witnesses who did nothing when she was brutally murdered. The movie is more about the family's grief than the tragedy itself, but it is a raw, authentic look into humanity's grieving process and what lemmings we all truly are. It's a film at times that is hard to swallow and will leave you thinking, what would I have done? And of course, Wild Wild Country. Another Duplass Brothers production, but this one is a wild, wild ride. This true crime series does venture into many subjects, but at the core, I would still categorize it as a true crime because of the level of crimes committed. The story follows one of the most controversial cults to ever make headlines, and the things they did, you won't even believe. Indian guru Bhagwan relocates his followers to a small town in the desert of Oregon, America. And soon things go from even to chaos. The series features interviews that have been sought after but no one has been able to track down. It's a highly bizarre and exhilarating series that will keep you on your toes. I recommend this one highly. And the last documentary series I want to talk about today is The Staircase. It started off as an 8-part series and then 3 extra episodes, I believed, were added on when Netflix took hold of it. But it's actually originally from 2004, so it seems a little bit dated, but it's definitely different to the other crime docos I have mentioned. This one is about a man that was questioned over his wife's death after she was found at the bottom of a staircase, contorted in a strange way, where people think that maybe she couldn't have fallen. But the series is actually meant to be more centered around the case and how lawyers put together evidence and do mock trials, all that kind of stuff. And then from there, it gets a little bit twisted and more stuff comes into play. Then it just turns into this thing where you're watching this incredible story unfold with all these different aspects and you're shown behind the scenes and you're wondering, did he fucking do it or not? The Staircase is definitely worth the hype. At the time of filming this, I have not seen the additional 3 episodes, but I'm excited. I'm thrilled, and I totally recommend this one and every other one that I've mentioned today. I hope you found this helpful. I actually really love lists like this because it's something that I would find really helpful, so I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you did find it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please do, because otherwise you might miss me putting up a video like this. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to talk to you guys very soon. Stay spooky. Bye.